Hey guys, what's up? It's Snowden. I'm here to give you a review on the Giver Quartet. I just finished it and absolutely loved it, and I'm going to keep this review spoiler free so you don't have to worry about, jumping out if you've read like the first two or the first one and haven't read the next ones. I won't ruin anything for you. Okay, so the Giver Quartet by Lois Lowry has 4 books in it, thus quartet, like 4 quarts in a gallon. The 4 books are The Giver, Gathering Blue, Messenger, and Sun. And they all have different main characters, so I'll just start with the Giver and then I'll go through each one and say a little bit about it. I'm going to keep this video as short as possible because I have stuff to do. Okay, so The Giver is about a boy named Jonas, and he's living in a town where everyone is kind of just, going with the flow. They don't really think too much for themselves, and everything is decided for you by a council of people. The society that he lives in decides everything for you: who you marry, when you get married, what job you're going to have, what food you eat, how much you eat, all that jazz. So when Jonas turns 12, he gets his allotment in life, and he is given the job of the receiver. And what the receiver does is he holds all the memories of all the, in the past, and the Giver is the old receiver, and the Giver gives the memories to Jonas. And so once Jonas starts to get all these memories, he realizes that his utopia is not a utopia at all, and he has to deal with the consequences of knowing that and what he should do. Should he tell people, try to make people see? Should he just, leave? Should he fight the people that are there? He decides what he wants to do, and I absolutely loved it. It's a really, really quick read. I think I read it in an afternoon. I think all of them are quick reads. I think Sun only took me a couple of days, but yeah, they're super quick. They're only, they're not too crazy. But yeah, my only complaint about this book is and most of the books in the series are the endings. It just ends really quickly, and then you're just like, what? Give me more. And that's not a bad complaint to have because there's more books. And so yeah, so that's The Giver, and we'll move on to the next one. Gathering Blue. We'll move on to Gathering Blue. Gathering Blue isn't really a sequel. It's more of a different story from the same world, and it's a different town that has different problems, and the main character, her name is Kira, and she has a limp. Well, she has a bad leg, and she drags it around, and in the society, if you're born with a defect, they kill you. They just set you out in the field, and the monsters, or whatever they are, come and eat you or kill you. And so in the beginning of the book, her mother has just died, and that was the last person that was protecting her. And so the people of the town want to kill Kira because, she's just taking up resources, she's not really contributing that much. But then she has to fight for her life and find something that she's that makes her worth keeping around. Similar to The Giver, when she finds that thing that keeps her around, she finds out that her society is even worse than she thought it was, and she also has to deal with that. And she deals with it in a completely different manner than Jonas did in The Giver, and I really liked that. And also this book ended rather quickly, and I was like, give me more. And I was a little mad at her. I was like, what is wrong with you? But, well, I didn't write it, so I don't get any say. The Messenger is the 3rd in the series, and it is a continuation of The Giver and the Gathering Blue. And the main character, his name is Maddie, and he lives in a town, and there's an evil that's going through it, and he is witnessing people being taken over by this evil, and he doesn't know what to do. And he is sent on a journey to save someone that I won't tell you because it would be a spoiler, but he has to go and save them, and journeying through the forest, because it has a consciousness, it's alive. I mean, apart from just being alive because it's trees, it has a consciousness and thinks, and and decides who is going to be able to cross through it. And so, you know, he's having fun. The ending of it was a lot better than the other two, I felt, and I was just like, oh, next book, please. Last book is Sun. So the Sun encompasses all three books, and it starts off, it follows this girl who starts off in the town that Jonas lives in The Giver, and she also starts to realize that the town isn't a utopia, but then something bad happens and she ends up somewhere else, and she doesn't have any memory of what's going on, and so she is learning to live in a different society, and she has to try to keep going, and she's trying to get her memories back, and once she does, she finds out this crucial bit of information that she needed to know, and that she needs to go and do this quest to find this other person, and like whatever. So she does that, and then there's a price to pay to get like what you want, and she pays it, and then it's like terrible for her and whatever. So this one was so great. It's a conclusion to all three. It brings everything back together, and I loved it. I cannot say how much I loved it. I'm like raving about it. I would suggest that anyone read it. It's brilliant. If you were one of those people that had to read the book for school and you hated it, because I hate when people tell me what to do, and whenever someone told me to read something in school, I refused and I SparkNoted it, and I was a terrible reader. So whoops. But I read it now, and it was great. It's so great to read it on your own. If you haven't read it, you should read it. They're all great. But yeah, that's it. So read it. Comment below if you have read it, if you haven't read it, if you want to read it. Any comments you have on it. If you haven't read the other books, are you interested in reading them now? Yeah. So I'll talk to you guys later.